Oof. I scratched the side step. Here it is, our long-term Ram Rebel, and we're kicking off our new video series, Ram Rebel Rouser. In this video series, we're gonna make this truck a little bit quicker, a little bit taller, a little bit cooler, and more capable. We're gonna be using Mopar parts and accessories. We're gonna have a Terraflex and Falcon shock suspension, and we're gonna do more. What inspired this project? Well, about a year ago, we all saw that bright orange concept truck from Ram at the Chicago Auto Show. Out of the factory, the Rebel is already a really good truck. It's got a lot of off-road capability. It can be used as a regular truck for towing and hauling, but this episode right here is focused on off-roading. We're gonna run Goldmine Hill with a stock truck, and then once we do all the modifications, we're gonna run it again and see the difference. Let's check out some of the specs on the Rebel. You know I love numbers, so let me quickly go over it. In the front, 23.1 degrees of approach. In the middle, 20.1 degrees of breakover. And in the back, 27.1 degrees of departure. And here we have 33-inch tall Goodyear Wrangler Duratrack tires that actually measure about 32 inches with full weight of the truck. And we're going to be changing these later on in the series to show you a different tire and how it behaves off-road and on-road. Since we will be doing a leveling kit on the suspension and also changing the tires, it's always good to know where you are to begin with. So I'm gonna measure from the ground to the fender flare. And in the front, we are at 37 3/4. Can you see that right here? And I'm gonna measure both sides, make sure it's all even on this flat ground. So 37 3/4 in the front. Let's see the back. In the back, it's basically 40 inches. Check it out. If you've watched TFL Car and TFL Truck before, you know Goldmine Hill. It has 3 stages. This first stage doesn't look too bad, and it's not. It's kind of a steep, rocky incline, tests a little bit of a traction. Stage 2 is a 90-degree turn, off-camber articulation. It tests a lot of ground clearance and also ability to turn. Finally, stage 3 is the biggest dip. It's the steepest section, and it tests everything: approach, departure, breakover angles. So let's see how the truck does. All right, on the way here, I was using 4-wheel drive high. To go too low, yes, of course, you gotta be in neutral. Hold this down just for a couple of seconds. It also disables the parking sensors, which is great. And I can also lock my rear axle. But there's no front locker on this truck. Only when in 4 low you can use the hill descent control feature. And I wish it was available in 4-wheel drive high, but it's not the case. You can adjust the speed using these buttons. Hill descent control speed starts at 0.6 miles per hour, and you can double that and go a little bit higher to about 5 miles an hour using the gear selector buttons on the steering wheel. Aha! Goldmine Hill. You might be saying, wait a minute, don't you have a Cliffhanger 2.0 that's more difficult and tough and you should take the Rebel there? Yes, we do, but right now it's early May and it's snowed in still. But this is a long video series, so when this Rebel Rouser gets all of its gear. I'm gonna do everything I can to take it to Cliffhanger 2.0, and this summer we can get it done. All right, here's on stage 1. Should be just easy. I'm using all of the tech available to me. I'm in 4 low, and I'm using the rear locker, and I'm just modulating the throttle, which is very easy to do actually in 4 low in the new Rebel. It's easy to maintain constant speed. This is a big truck. It's a crew cab. It's very long, with almost 145-inch wheelbase, which is actually not the longest, but still it's pretty wide, and I will have to use my folding mirrors soon. There it is. Stage 1, pretty easy. These Duratrack tires are really good, and also the Bilstein shocks soften the ride nicely. This Rebel only has the rear camera. There's no 360-degree view. Yes, it's for towing, but it also helps a little bit off-road when backing up. I really wish the Rebel offered a full 360. Other 2019 Ram trucks offer that, but not this Rebel. Before I get to stage 2 of Goldmine Hill, I have to know the articulation on the stock truck, which is why I'm here at John's 4x4 in Boulder at the RTI ramp, but I need help to do the measurement.
I'm here to help for a measurement.
We're using a standard 20-degree ramp, and the RTI Ramp Travel Index score basically is a measurement in terms of points on how much articulation you have. Oh yeah, dude, we lined it up perfectly.
Okay, there we go, there's our mark.
All right, let's measure. I'm gonna go to the ground.
I've got 54 3/4.
All right, so we just need 2 numbers to do the calculation.
Right.
The wheelbase, which is 144.6 inches on the screw cab short bed, and the distance traveled up the ramp, which
Right.
is 54 3/4.
That sounds right.
All right, so let's do this right here. So 54 3/4 divide by the wheelbase, 0.6, and you just multiply by 1,000 to move the decimal point, and you come up with 378.6. So that's the base stock RTI score on the Rebel with steel suspension. Okay, that was stage 1. Now stage 2 is much more difficult. There's melting snow here, and I'm gonna take it very slowly. I'm gonna make it as difficult as possible for the truck, and I need to make sure I can negotiate this turn. Okay, all good. A little bit of slippage, but these Duratracks are really good off-road. They may not be great everywhere. They may not be very great on wet pavement. They slip a little, but in most off-road situations, they're excellent. The whole purpose of this project, the Rebel Rouser, is to make this truck cooler, meaner looking, and a little bit more off-road worthy. But I also don't want this project to take away from the qualities of this truck, such as luxury and comfort. So I'm gonna measure the interior sound level in the stock truck with the roof closed and just at 60 miles an hour. 62.2. Anything under 70 decibels is really good in a new truck. 62.2 is one of the best numbers, and that is with the Duratrack tires. Of course, another part of this project has to do with the way the truck sounds. I'm gonna be a little bit more scientific and measure the decibel level of the stock exhaust system, and I put the decibel meter about 2 feet away from the bumper, from the exhaust pipe, and let's see what the sound level is stock. right, that's 89 decibels with a stock exhaust. All right, stage 1 also includes updating the steps. So let's measure the stock step here. The height, hopefully we can improve it. It's 12 and a half here at the front. And it's about 12 and 3/4 in the back. Now stage 2 of the Rebel Rouser project will also include a leveling lift on the front suspension. I hope to improve the front approach angle. So let's measure it to the hook from the ground. What is it gonna be? It's 17 and a half on this one. 17 and a half inches actually on both of these tow hooks. And once we do the suspension lift and also new tires, I'll also measure the height and the approach angle. I want to be very precise with this project, which is why I'm here at the scale. I want to know exactly how much this truck weighs, just with a full tank of gas, and the way it's outfitted right now, which is just a couple of items, safety items in the back, and otherwise empty. I'm gonna get out, get the number. £5,740 right here. Just the truck in stock form, full tank of fuel, a couple of items in the back, and no driver. I want to know exactly how the weight will change after we make all the additions and mods to this truck. This Ram has a lot of options, and one of them is power folding mirrors, which I'm going to be using right now because stage 3 is super narrow. I don't want to hit anything. I'm a little nervous because damage is possible here, and I do not want to damage this $59,000 truck. Okay, stage 3. Once again, I'm using all the tools available to me. You don't want to be in the middle of an obstacle and get stuck because you have a locker enabled or you're not in 4 low. I just want to have all the components working for me. I'm going to take it a little slowly because I know I have a lot of traction, but not too slowly. I still need to keep momentum. See if I can. Ooh, scrape. No. Oh boy, I scraped a little bit of a skid plate, which is good. No vital components were hurt. Yes. This right here is the skid plate for the fuel tank, and this is where the scrape happened. I thought it was the step. I was wrong. It was more closer to the middle of the truck. This is why we want to lift this truck just a little bit to get a better clearance. Okay, Goldmine Hill is over. Now it's time to have some fun. And in case you're wondering, yes, we will be making this truck a little bit quicker and louder. Intake system, performance intake, performance exhaust, a bunch of other stuff. But now, it's about fun. Oh yeah, a little bit of water here. Yes! This is what it's all about. It's to show you guys what the truck is capable of, to show you how easy it is to customize, what kind of parts are available for the new Ram Rebel. And guys, go back to tfltruck.com for more news, views, and real-world truck reviews, but also these video series. We also have the cheap Jeep Comanche over there as well. Thanks. Well, here's my Christmas. Look at all these boxes. Let's open them up and see exactly what we have. Oh yeah, I got the wheel. Guys, look how cool the new truck looks. I just can't wait to start it for the first time and actually get it out on the road. Let's go.